Hello, guys. All right. So I wanted to. The last couple of days have been really good. As I think you might have seen, I did a video a couple of days ago about my pain got triggered, and that was, really, a tough moment, but really good moment too, because I knew that like some good stuff would come out of it for me, and some insightfulness that maybe I hadn't really thought through, or some ways that I needed to kind of grow and stuff like that. And so, so I kind of had a really cool aha this morning about it all, and it's leading actually into my Love Fest part 3. This wasn't what I was planning to talk about, but I thought, good grief, this is absolutely applicable, I think, to us, specifically, adult children of, untreated BPDs and stuff. So anyway, and that is to not fear what we want. That was, seriously, that's all that was going on in that video that I did a couple of days ago, was just fear, and I think that when it comes to like kind of like how we operate in life, regardless of what like your, I don't know, spiritual background is, or thoughts about life and stuff like that, I think we can all agree that we pretty much operate either out of fear or out of love, and, even anger or even numbness, all of that is just usually, it's always, just really more an indication of fear, and stuff. So, Anyway, and so I think it's really easy for us to, when we want something that we don't have yet, that really matters in our lives, for me, like, a partner and family and stuff like that. When we don't have that yet, it's really easy for us to react with fear as opposed to react with love. So for example, because I grew up in a family which ironically was all about, like foster parenting and adopting kids, because I felt so orphaned in that family, I thought deep down that I didn't deserve a family, and that I didn't deserve to be in a healthy relationship, or a happy relationship, or I didn't think I was capable of that. And so what I did was I chose to, out of fear, I chose to just shut down that desire, and I focused in on becoming more independent and becoming more self-reliant. And I shut down the need. Like seriously, like I didn't even feel like I needed a relationship or needed a family for like years, and that's normal. That's a normal reaction, I think, for an adult child of an untreated BPD, to kind of react that way, and stuff, and to kind of just like check out like the whole feelings around those things, And so that's what I did, I threw myself into work. I threw myself into my religion. I did whatever I could, to kind of like supplement that need. But the more I've healed from, my BP, from my background and stuff like that, the more I'm opening myself up to needing a family, to needing a partner, and wanting that, wanting, something that I've never had before, which is like, committed, healthy relationships and such. And so, of course, it's going to kick up my fear, but I can replace that fear with love, and I can love what I want, even if I don't have it yet, and be in that place of love. And I don't think I can make the right decisions. I don't think I can be open or be aware of the opportunities around me unless I am in a place of love over what I want instead of fear. So, excuse me. So yeah, so how how to look at what we want with love and not fear. I think there's a few different things we can do. One is we have to come to a point where we believe we deserve what we want, and to believe that. And so to do whatever work that is, which is usually like loving ourselves more, excuse me, my nose is driving me nuts right now. It's to believe that we deserve it, and to work through whatever we need to get to that point where we do authentically believe that we deserve what we want in life, I think for me, what I've needed to do was really do a lot of work on the fact that I'm really okay, and that I'm really a normal person, and that, I'm a wonderful person, and that I have these, I have so much great love to give to people, and to give to children or to a spouse, and things like that, and to believe that like I deserve to be loved, and I deserve to be, whatever my parents, or however I felt like my parents, treated me or devalued me, it's BS, I know I did what I deserve, and stuff like that. So yeah. And then it's to focus on, where we do have what we want, whatever that is. I've got some great friendships, and so I've made a point to take advantage of, calling those, wonderful women up, particularly, yesterday. And, I've got some plans made for next weekend to, have some special time with them during the holidays, and to, to also just talk about it and stuff, and just be reminded, like, this is my family, and these people are my family, and they're in my life, and that's wonderful. And I do have bits of what I want, and I should appreciate that, and celebrate that, instead of focusing in on what I don't have and what I don't want, or what I don't have, and feeling sorry for myself and stuff like that. So yeah. And that's to remind ourselves of our strength and support, as to remind myself of, like, I've come a long way in this whole, journey of, men and family and stuff like that. Like, I know a thing or two about how to handle these kinds of relationships. And I've got a lot of education, obviously, and knowledge, because I'm a geek about that stuff. But also too, like, I'm also listening more to my instincts and my gut, and I'm reading a bit better, like, kind of like who in my life is really helpful and who isn't. I mean, I'm doing those kinds of things that are really, really empowering. And so I need to remember that I have the strength to handle, what comes my way, and I don't have to fear being rejected, because it always leads to some kind of good lesson, and stuff like that. And that whatever problems come, I have the skill set, I have the attitude, I have the mental abilities to handle it, and stuff like that. And, and I'm getting the heart to deal with it too. So, and that, yeah, I've got a lot of support, like, whether it's my friends, whether it's, the things I go to, the speakers, the teachers that I listen to and rely on, like I've got a lot of support to get me through these difficult times, when difficult times do come up with, when you receive what you want, or are in the process of receiving what you want. So, and I think too, what helps is when I focus in on appreciating how much I've grown in all of this, journey. I think that's huge, that I have been preparing for what I want for a long time. And I've grown so much to be ready for that. And that I can really appreciate that, like the woman that I was 10 years ago, trying to date, Versus the woman that I am now are very different, and stuff. And I can really appreciate that and go, okay, so I'm just going to keep growing. I'm going to keep getting better. And this point, I feel like is really like, kind of like, I think almost like one of the most important pieces in all of this. And that is that is to keep building our faith and trust in ourselves and life in general. That when we do that, we do develop more love. We do see what we want with more love than fear. The more I keep building my faith and trust in myself, then the more that I can handle whatever is going to come my way when it comes to men, or comes to building a family, and being a part of a family, things like that. Like it's going to be a lot easier for me to handle it. I'm going to be more relaxed. I'm going to be more open. I'm going to be more positive about it. And good grief, those are incredibly helpful and also attractive qualities, for me to connect and bond with the right, guy, or, with the right family members, or whatever, so yeah. And then also too, faith and trust in life itself, and of course, I think we all kind of have different ways of how we define that life, whether we define it as God, the universe, or whatever, or just general life itself. Is to trust and have faith that, the more that we do grow, the more that we focus on getting rid of our fears, and instead about what we want, but instead loving it, that that life will bring what it bring it, that life will bring it at some point. Oh, it may be today, it may not be until another 10 years from now, but that we can trust that, life will bring what we need at the right time in the right way. And that I think too, another part of it as well is even if we don't, even when we receive it, we know that it's not going to complete us, right? We know that what we want isn't going to complete us, but it's going to enhance our lives, which of course is cool and important and stuff like that. But I think that the more that we have that love and that faith and trust in ourselves as well as life now, I think we'll be able to handle whatever comes our way when it comes to what we want and stuff. So anyway, yeah, got deep. Feel free to comment or ask questions or share your own stories and stuff below. And I hope you have a great day. Thanks.